This rain.
What's going on, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? My name is Mikey Jimenez, and this is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from San Antonio, Texas, the west side of San Antonio.
Puro west side.
West Bexar County represented as well. My name is Mikey Jimenez. Joe Garcia producing today's show on a rainy Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday today.
Yeah, dude, we forget what the fuck day it is already, dude. It's Wednesday. It's my Friday, brother.
Oh, nice.
Maybe we should do some day drinking on tomorrow's show.
Oh my God. I'm kind of in a limbo right now at work right now. So I'm transitioning my licenses, which means I can't do anything for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm not unemployed. I am a business owner, but
you're a freelancer.
But my licenses take 3 weeks to transfer.
Damn, dude.
So it's just I can't do anything. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of twiddling my thumbs right now.
I'll give us a little pour for tomorrow's show, man.
A little pour, a little
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace.
You got to bring the bottle, though.
I owe you a bottle. I owe you a bottle. What's going on, everybody? We are live right now on Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube. Like and subscribe on YouTube, by the way. If you are watching this on Facebook, we love you. But make your happy ass over to YouTube. Please like and subscribe because that's what gets us credit, okay? Facebook does it as a service. Twitter is erasing our streams immediately after the show ends.
It's stupid. You know what we're going to wind up doing, dude? I'm going to be honest with you guys. Next week, we're just going to strictly stick to YouTube. We're going to go ahead and put the notifications that we have gone live, but let's just cut the cord already, dude. Let's just exclusive to YouTube. Facebook's getting weird. Twitter's getting weird. YouTube's giving us nothing but love. We're going to stick to the platform that loves us the most.
And that's the thing is that, you know, in order for a podcast to be successful, it has to be on YouTube. It can't be anywhere else. We get somewhere in the range of 50 to 100 views on Facebook per day. We get hundreds of views on Twitter per day, depending on the topic and depending on the show. And the fact of the matter is that we don't get credit for it. We need to direct traffic onto the YouTube. Yeah. And if you go on our YouTube and you subscribe to the Alamo City Sportscast, you can be part of the show and leave us a comment, and we can see them and read them to you in real time. Lots of people already coming in. We see Jesus Rivera, Tim Gonzalez, Anthony L. all coming in already.
Yeah, man. Appreciate
I like this comment right here. Anthony L. Jimenez lives rent-free on some people's Twitter world. So we're going to get into that because I'm going to pull a Jimmy Kimmel today, and we're going to do mean tweets. Okay, mean tweets directed at me. How about this? Should I go as far as to read some of the mean tweets that were not at me? What pussies. Come on, man. If you're going to talk crap about me on Twitter, at me. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 was talking about this because he was messaging me. He goes, dude, so many people are afraid to at you. You know, what does at mean? So that I can see it.
At MJM.
So Jeff wasn't the only person. I had multiple people reach out to me, go, dude, did you see what this person said? See what this person said? What they called you? And I'm like, if you're gonna come at me, bro. Don't just keep yourself secret.
Yeah. Hey, we're like, you know, Chris Leja says, man, we grown men here, dude. We're all grown men. If you want to go ahead and talk your shit, dude, but at us at least, you know?
Exactly. I mean, let us be part of this. So we'll get into that. We do have a poll on Twitter at MJ Acquire Taste, which is basically asking the question, in Pop we trust? ? That's all it says, right? Do we believe that that Pop's going to turn this team around into a winning team? Or are we done with Pop, like I said? Okay, like I believe. We'll get into that as well. Spurs back in action tonight. It is Chet versus Wemby at the Frost Bank Center. Dude, Chet has been playing like trash the past 2 or 3 weeks or so. Wemby has overtaken Chet Holmgren in the eyes of a lot of casino sports books right now. So the whole debate about who's going to be Rookie of the Year, I think it's trending more and more towards Victor Wembanyama. People got pissed off at me a couple of weeks ago when I said that at that point in time, it was Chet's award, but it has changed. Times have changed, and Wemby's playing so well right now, coming off a 30-plus point performance the other night against the 76ers.
Yep.
Embiid with 70 points. By the way, thanks to Carolina Teague for being on the show yesterday. She fired people up, man. She was on fire. When I asked her the question, are you embarrassed that the Spurs gave up 70 points to one player? Dude, so many Spurs fans were like, well, I mean, Embiid's just really good. He's just really good. So
Yeah.
it's okay. Pop made absolutely no adjustmts.
Hey, Christopher Lejas got me laughing, bro.
Well,
He goes, people can't at you if you block the comments.
I don't block comments. I if you want to know who I've blocked on Twitter, I bet you I have blocked maybe 2 people in my entire life, and I have blocked like 7 politicians.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically it. That's what I don't want to see. I don't block a lot of people. I really don't. I bet you if I went on my block list on Twitter right now, you might see 2 people. It used to be 5 or 6, but I let 3 or 4 out of jail the other day.
Yeah.
I paroled them.
You paroled them. Oh, God.
So we'll get into that. By the way, the NFL ratings came out. To those of you who argue that you do not want to see Taylor Swift out there, we're going to go over the ratings of that game, the Bills-Chiefs game from over the weekend, because it was astro-fucking-nomical.
I bet, bro. We were saying Taylor's good for business, right?
Dude, we'll talk about how good for business on that.
Hey, just to let the people know, you're seeing something new up in the upper corner here. I don't know if it's in your upper right, or your upper left-hand side, but we have the QR code there for the Buy Me the Coffee. So if you enjoy the show, you enjoy what we do, send us some love, man. Give us a tip. You can tip us as low as $1. You can tip us as high as $5. We leave it up to you, but we greatly appreciate y'all's support.
Very nice. Very nice. Rudolph Gonzalez reached out to us on our YouTube stream saying, I'm always going at Mike and I've never been blocked. That's right. You know why? Because if you go after the take, that's fine. You go after the person. Like people will say, oh, well, you're overweight, Jimenez. Well, so is like 90% of San Antonio. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that doesn't get me riled up or so.
Yeah.
But if you affect my business, that's when I get a little bit pissed off. Okay. That's the only thing that really ticks me off is if you go after me and you insinuate certain things about me that are untrue. Okay. Aside from that, we're all good. We're going to have a new segment that we're going to do on a daily basis called our favorite TikTok of the day. And today it's going to feature a former NFL and mostly a college football star. His take on being married to a Latina. He's a white guy. So we're going to get into that as well. One of our favorite celebrity crushes from back in the 90s turned 50 years old. So we're going to have to debate this. Okay. I mean, is 50 the new 30? Because I saw that photo that she posted, and I'll get that for you, Joe.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously. She's still a nugget.
I'm telling
you. Forever
man.
A nugget.
If she's still hot at this age, she hot forever, bro.
She hot forever, man.
Forever.
If we have time, we'll get into Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant is talking nonsense right now about that he thinks he's one of the GOATs. Really? I mean, he's top 25 all time. But he's asking the question, why is he not considered to be top 5 or top 10? Because you're not. Okay. Maybe we'll talk about the Cowboys as well. The NFL playoffs are going to get going again. AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game. I didn't realize that Jared Goff, we talk about the Cowboys, how they haven't been in the conference championship, not much less the Super Bowl, right? Conference championship in 28 years. Jared Goff has taken 2 teams to the conference championship game. And that's just so weird about the quarterback position in the NFL. It's like, well, we consider to be elite and not elite. I'm going to jot that down because a lot of crap's being thrown at Brock Purdy right now.
Why? The dude's just, he's even killed, dude. He doesn't make mistakes. And look at what his team is doing.
And I question whether or not you need a star quarterback to win anymore. The idea, because do you need to have a Patrick Mahomes? Do you need to have a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? Or do you need a Brock Purdy, a Jared Goff? Do you need to have what they like to call a game manager? Would you rather have a game manager and a lot of good parts on the outside?
That's the general, man. They're like little generals out on the court.
Yeah.
On the field, you know?
Yeah, we'll get into that as well. So we have a lot to talk about today. If you want to be part of the show as well, reach out to us on our YouTube stream and leave a comment, or 5 or 10. I like to read several of them.
Look at Jesus Rivera's comment, dude. Goff equals bootleg Ryan Gosling.
Okay. Now, but they all have something in common, though, man. I mean, Ryan Gosling, Jared Goff does look like Ryan Gosling, gone through the printing machine 4 or 5 times, right? He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that Jared Goff has what I believe is the hottest wag, the wife and girlfriends of the NFL. Jared Goff is married to Kristen Harper, not dating her, married to Kristen Harper. Swimsuit edition, SI swimsuit edition, supermodel. She is hot. We showed a photo of her, or photos of her earlier this week.
I remember.
And people were reaching out going, did not realize Jared Goff has that much game.
Hey, man. That dude, he's pulling. He's pulling.
He's pulling a one seed. He's pulling a one seed. And speaking of one seeds, I'm gonna, I love how we do this podcast, and sometimes things just kind of come up to us. Sydney Sweeney is going to be on the next episode of Hot Ones. Have you seen the show Hot Ones?
I have, dude.
Okay, it's on Peacock right now.
Yeah.
All the seasons are on Peacock. I've seen the TikToks, but I've never really seen an entire show. Dude, now I'm addicted to that. So we'll get into that as well. Roby Juan Kenobi asking the question, Goff over Dak? Dude, they're the same person.
I don't know, man. Goff's a winner. Goff's a winner. Goff is a winner, bro. Let's be honest.
Very, very nice. By the way, thank you to all of you all who reached out to us, have been passing along our YouTube page and sharing it so that we get more subscribers. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a milestone. We got to 650.
Yeah, dude.
Yesterday. The goal is to get to 1,000 as quickly as possible. I would love to have that by the end of March.
Hey, if we get to 1,000, maybe Jimenez gets the Marbach.
Oh no, dude! I make money outside of here. DLG and Taylor and Rudy J. Speaking of mean tweets, why are people giving Rudy J shit? They're giving Rudy J shit and Mike Taylor shit on their podcast right now.
I don't even know.
And I like the fact that Rudy J just retweets them, and he's like, somebody reaching out saying, I like Puma more than Rudy J. And he's like, thank you for listening to the show.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Exactly. And it's so funny because those who subscribe to us and say that they hate us are the ones that follow us the most. And I think that people think that it's contrived, but it's not, man.
No.
It's just not contrived. I have two different sets of personalities. I have my on-air personality. I have the podcast personality. But I also have my, when I'm just at the bar.
The chill personality.
And what ends up happening is people then go meet me at a bar and they suddenly think to themselves, fuck, Jimenez is a nice guy. You know how many times people have said that to me? They're like, Jimenez is actually a pretty cool guy to hang out with.
We've hung out together over here at what's that one little bar around the corner from us?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Oh,
Stout House.
Stout House. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a little too much fun. A little too much fun, but it's all good.
So let's do some mean tweets real fast.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say before we get into that, man, whether you hate us or you like us, make sure you give us some love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow, and we greatly appreciate the continued support from our viewers.
By the way, let's get into today's show. Today's show, we're gonna have to revisit what happened yesterday. We had Carolina Teague on, and Carolina Teague does a fantastic job. She's oftentimes with us on Tuesday, and she was going off about the fact that she's embarrassed as a Spurs fan about the fact that Joel Embiid went off for 70 points. Now, he lived at the free throw line, but he knocked down like 65% of his shots. So he did a fantastic job. Well, the thing about it is this. We asked the question about how embarrassed should Spurs fans be? And a lot of Spurs fans are on Twitter going, not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. And the fact of the matter is that I'm thinking to myself, don't we want to have standards for this team? Don't we want to have standards for the team's defense? And we're just letting it all slide. The San Antonio Spurs have been here for 51 years. You know how I know that? It's because last January, we celebrated the 50-year anniversary of this team at the Alamo Dome when they got killed by the Warriors downtown, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be the worst season ever in Spurs franchise history. Right now on track for 16 wins. 20 wins is the worst they've ever done for a season. And everyone's just letting it slide. So I brought this up and I was asking the question, hey, Pop, we're not getting a lot out of him. Okay. Very much like Bill Belichick never won after Tom Brady walked out the door. Pop has not won ever since Kawhi walked out that door. I mean, obviously he got all the chips with Tim, but the last one with Kawhi, ever since Kawhi landed on Zaza Pachulia's foot, so it's gone to shit.
Who should we hate the most? Kawhi for ruining the team or Zaza for putting his foot out.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because the more that I think about it, the more that I think that Zaza incident might have been a blessing. Because had we had Kawhi, when playing, is one of the 10 best players in the NBA.
Yeah,
I
but
think he had a triple-double earlier this week.
Yeah, he's getting old, though.
Well, his body's old.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be able to count on him to play 82 games. I mean, that guy would have been playing 50 games a season, and maybe he would have brought this team to the playoffs.
We could have won a chip with Kawhi.
Right.
We could have.
But look at it. We traded Kawhi for who? We traded him for DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl.
And the pick that turned into Keldon.
Right? And then we flipped Poeltl for a draft pick that we're going to get maybe this year, maybe next year. We flipped DeMar DeRozan for picks. So it's still shaking out how that all happened. And then because we sucked, we ended up getting a 14% chance to get Victor Wembanyama in the 2023 NBA draft, which we did.
Yeah.
Right? So was it a bad thing that Kawhi landed on him? I think the Spurs could have won that series, man. We were destroying the Warriors.
We were up by
game.
20 plus, dude.
Yes.
20
We
plus.
would have won that game, gotten stolen home court advantage. We could have won the finals that year.
I think so.
But the thing about it is that Kawhi wouldn't have been here long term anyway. I think that if Kawhi won the chip, he would have left, just like he did in Toronto. Won the chip over there, left
for greener pastures, meaning he wanted to get more money.
Right.
He wanted to play for another team somewhere else, getting away from Coach Pop and the small market San Antonio Spurs. He went to Toronto because he had to, not because he had a choice. But the minute that he had a choice, where did he go? L.A.
It's exactly it.
Yeah.
He wanted to go back home to California.
Yeah.
So because of all this, I have made points on this show, on Twitter, on Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia, that I've grown tired of Gregg Popovich, right? People call me an ageist. It is what it is. I believe that the Spurs would be better off with a younger head coach. I brought this up. I posted a clip from the show last night on Twitter, and the world went to shit. Okay. So people reached out to me. So by the way, I just posted on Twitter, if you want to show this part right here.
Are you showing it right now?
Yes.
All right.
You want to show this part? I just posted a GIF of one of my favorite scenes from the Three Amigos, and it says, Spurs fans siding with a 77-year-old Pop in 2026 after losing the seventh season in a row. After the seventh losing season in a row. I'm still here with you, El Guapo. And then it gets shot, right? Okay, so people reached out to me, and I have a poll on Twitter asking the question, and Pop, do we trust or not? 160 people have voted in the last 2 hours. And 66.9% right now say that they do, in fact, trust Gregg Popovich. 33% say no. So it's about 2/3 still siding with Pop.
Look at they ask a question here. Rudolph Gonzalez. Does this show always devolve into your hate for Pop?
No, but it just dovetails into what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the comments that are out there about me?
That's gonna be funny, man.
So I just posted earlier today a tweet from somebody named Romos Spur 11 at Romos Spur 11 that says, quote, "You clearly don't know shit about basketball or any sport for that matter. You are a pathetic loser desperately seeking attention. Pop is loved and admired by millions across the globe and will be remembered as the GOAT by basketball experts. You won't be remembered." Okay, this is a guy that says he hates me, and guess what? All he does is comment on me every single day. So does he hate me or not?
Maybe he's just a fan.
Maybe he's just a fan. Okay, so lots of people were reaching out to me. So Mellow Velo 27 saying that you're just on the wrong side of the argument. That's not a mean tweet.
Not at all.
That is just on I disagree with you tweet. But people were reaching out to me online, and I'm not going to share DMs. But here's some of the DMs that I got from people who were sending them to me. One saying, one from a guy named Edgar Says, when I criticize Pop, I bring context. And am I frustrated? Yes. But Dan Jimenez goes out there on his podcast spreading stupid ass Pop narratives and no context is annoying as shit. You want context? Spurs are going to have the worst record in franchise history this year. Spurs have lost 90 out of 125 games. Spurs have had 5 losing seasons in a row. The Spurs winning percentage is getting worse and worse as time goes on. Spurs did nothing to address the fact that, I don't know, Wemby might need some veteran leadership on this team. They punted on his rookie season. And so many people reach out and say, but Wemby says that he enjoys being with Pop. What do you think he's going to say, man? I think I might have dislodged this real fast, but
Lord.
What do you think he's going to say?
Let me go and fix it.
Is my microphone off?
No, it's still on.
Okay. So what do you think Pop is going to, Victor Wembanyama is going to say about Popovich? Do you think he's going to air out dirty laundry? People think that because an athlete says something, that's what they really think. Part of being an athlete is public relations. It's looking like a good teammate. It's looking like a leader. It's looking like you get along with everybody. That's part of being a superstar in the NBA, the NFL, or the MLB. So what if they say that or they say something in an interview? It means nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I like this comment. Hand over fist. Shout out to you. Holt Jr. says, we building a powerhouse while hiking ticket prices. He knows what he's got on his hands. They're tanking, and they knew damn well what they were doing.
Oh, I agree. If you could help me out with my headphones real fast.
Yeah, I got you.
We have someone who reached out to us earlier who was saying that Patrick Green, thank you, standing up for me over here, says, quote, the man has an opinion. If he feels like Pop hasn't done a good job in the last 6 years and the team needs to move into a different direction, he can feel that way just like he feel Pop is loved by millions. But the reality, Mike, isn't the only person with this opinion. Thank you so much, Patrick Green, for reaching out and supporting a brother. Here's another one from that guy, Romos for 11. Clearly, you don't know shit about basketball, just an attention-craving loser that found a way for people to have to endure his ignorance. Okay.
You know what? One thing,
and people went after Carolina too.
I think I know who this is. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah,
it's a burner account. I'm pretty sure
it's a burner.
It's a burner account.
That is so funny, dude. That is so funny. I at least respect the ones that at me or at least quote tweet me so that I can see what they're saying. And some of them saying that the example that I use. I mentioned the fact that I believe that the 2020, 2021 teams were good enough to at least get to 500. I never said at any point that I believe that they were championship teams, but I was saying a roster that had a DeMar DeRozan, a DeJounte Murray, Jakob Poeltl, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, that had Derek White, that had Rudy Gay, could have gotten to 500, but didn't. And they weren't tanking. They were just bad teams.
It says you were the biggest tank cheerleader last year because you said it was good for us as a team to get Wemby. So why is it now not good for us to get him some help in the next draft by tanking again?
Oh, Rudolph, that is such a great comment.
Calling you out. I like that.
No, there was context in there.
It was.
Round of applause right there. Okay, first of all,
it's very good. It was a very good comment.
Oh, it was an excellent comment. Okay, first of all, the tank job last year was obvious that they were losing on purpose. Okay. The question became how long were they going to tank for? You see, last year we knew that we had a very good draft out there. We had Victor Wembanyama, we had Scoot Henderson, who's kind of been off and on. Brandon Miller's turning it up a little bit. We knew that there were some foundational pieces in the 2023 NBA draft. And we knew that Victor Wembanyama was a superstar who was also the biggest and best prospect since LeBron James 20 years ago. So they oftentimes say that these players only come every 10 years or so. It's really sometimes every 20. I mean, so we go back in time, we had the no-brainers were Shaq, Tim Duncan. At number 1, Shaq, Tim Duncan, LeBron James. Okay, people are going to say that people thought that Zion was it. No, everyone knew that Zion was going to get hurt. So really, it'd been 20 years. So if the Spurs are going to go out there and tank in order to get that to happen, I get it, right? Spurs going at it this year as though there are foundational pieces in this year's NBA draft. And the fact of the matter is that if you had all 30 teams last year, pick at number one, nobody was going to pick Brandon Miller.
No.
Nobody was going to pick Scoot. Everybody would have picked Victor Wembanyama. But in this upcoming draft, fact of the matter is that a lot of these players, whether it be Alexander Sarr, Nikola Topic, Zachary Risache, Ron Holland, these guys right there, those are 4 players right there that, depending on the team that gets number one, could take them. This is not a very strong draft. You might have some decent players and there's some decent pieces. And as of right now, the Spurs have the potential of having 2 first-round draft picks. We have our own, which as of right now, the Spurs have the 3rd worst record in the NBA, which means in theory we can draft anywhere between 1 and 7, but more than likely around 3.
I'd say 3 or 5.
Yeah, 5 is actually the highest percentage, or one of the highest percentages. The Spurs also have the ability of losing the Toronto pick because the Toronto pick is top 6 protected. And right now, Toronto has the 6th worst record in the league. They got rid of OG. They got rid of Pascal Siakam, or they're in the process of all of these things. All these moves that they're making, they're going to be losing. So the Spurs are going to kick not only Charlotte's first rounder into next year, they're going to kick, there's a 50% chance of kicking Toronto's into 2025 also. Spurs have their own pick next year. Spurs have Chicago's top 10 protected. The Spurs also have an unprotected pick by the Atlanta Hawks. That means we could have up to 5 first rounders next year. So asking the question, why tank this year? It's because we already have the superstar. Because how many years did Wemby sign for? 4. He didn't sign for 20. He signed for 4. If he wants to get out after 4, he can get out after 4. So don't you think that maybe if you get the phenom that is the top 20, is the best prospect in 20 years, that you should do something? The Spurs fans kind of act as though they didn't realize that we had won Wemby until the June draft. No, we won that draft like 5 or 6 weeks before. And then we knew free agency was coming. We knew all this was happening. And the Spurs just sat on their hands and didn't do anything other than extend Zach Collins and extend Devin Vassell. So the Spurs punted in his first season, and Pop even said it as much, saying what? What did Pop say? We're going to see how things shake out.
Yeah.
We're just going to roll the ball out there and see what we got. They punted on his first season. He's not going to be here forever if he doesn't want to be here forever. And I don't care what he says to the media. I don't care how many HEB commercials he does. We don't know what his feelings are. I don't know them, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. But I don't want you as Spurs fans to pretend like you know what he's thinking either, based on an interview, which is done by what? Public relations? That's the PR part of the job. Dude, okay, if you hated your boss, would you say something online?
Hell no, you wouldn't.
Dude, that thunder right now?
Is that thunder, dude?
That is thunder.
Wow.
Either that or there was an 18-wheeler crash in front of us.
Nah.
Holy heck, that was loud.
Thunderclap. It was a thunderclap.
Yeah. Thunderclap. That's what you call BB Rexa in a bikini.
No, bro. That's not BB, man.
No, I'd say that in a good way.
BB good, though. That's like Lizzo, man.
Oh. Gross. Okay. So I didn't want to get too much into it, but let's just say this. Here's what I'm saying. If you don't like me, but still listen, still follow, hey, man, I got nothing but love for you. If you're going to come at me on Twitter, have nothing but love for you. But do be the common decency of adding me so that I can respond. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Spurs back in action tonight. It's going to be a late start for the Spurs. Typically, they get going around 7 or 7:30 p.m. at the Frost Bank Center. But instead, this game is going to be nationally televised on ESPN. So tip-off is just after 8:30. So if you're going to the game tonight, you're not leaving until after 11 o'clock or so. Spurs taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder, very, very good team.
The battle for Rookie of the Year.
It is the battle for Rookie of the Year. Spurs 8-35, Thunder 39. and 13. That doesn't sound right. Let me see here.
OKC. Let's see.
30 and 13. I'm sorry. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're talking about rookie of the year. SGA.
Yeah.
Could be the MVP this year. I mean, Embiid's playing at that level, but SGA, obviously in the top 5 or 10. Thunder at 30 and 13. Tickets going for as low as $11 at the Frost Bank Center. So go get some tickets.
That should be a good matchup though between Wemby and Chet though.
Yeah. OKC favored by 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, Victor Wembanyama has been blowing up, man. 8 of the last 9 games, more than 20 points. Chet Holmgren though, 4 of the last 5 games, not even in double figures. Did you watch the end of the game last night of Oklahoma City? And I want to say it was who did OKC play yesterday? OKC played the Portland Trailblazers. Oh my God, did you watch the end of that game?
No, man, I didn't get. I was busy working, dude. Work was crazy.
Okay, so the Thunder suck.
Yeah,
I mean, not the Thunder. The Thunder are good. The Trailblazers suck, right? Trailblazers are 12 and 31. They went into OKC, had a 1-point lead with about 15 seconds to go. One of the Blazers players gets trapped right past the midcourt line. He's double teamed, right?
Yeah.
Double teamed. He's trapped. You have his head coach, Chauncey Billups, running up, calling timeout. He's about 1.5 feet behind the official, screaming timeout. Timeout was not granted. What ended up happening was the player for Portland dribbled the ball one more time, got called for a double dribble. Chauncey Billups lost his mind, was teed up.
Jeez.
Thunder go and tie the game on the technical, get the ball back because of the turnover, win the game 111 to 109, all because Chauncey Billups did not get the timeout that he was screaming for. The NBA released a statement on the game saying that nothing wrong happened. They called the guy the slot official, which in my business, because I do high school basketball, college basketball, we refer to that as the C official. Yeah. The C official was doing that play. They were saying that it's the C official's job to keep an eye on the play at all times. Well, here's the thing. There are 3 officials on the court. So if you're going to give me that bullshit, that means the trail official, who, by the way, had nobody in his area, should have been the one monitoring the timeout situation, should have been the one that had noticed that Chauncey Billups is behind the official with a T behind him calling timeouts. I cannot believe the NBA Officials Association is going out there and defending that official who did not grant the timeout. You know, in that situation that Chauncey Billups is going to call timeout. Dude, whenever I see, and I do high school basketball, whenever I see somebody getting trapped or the ball's getting loose and somebody's on the ground, one of the first things I do is I glance over to the coach to see if they're calling timeout. It does not take that much. But the thing is that the C official who was calling that play couldn't call timeout because Chauncey Billups is directly behind him. The other officials should have seen it. Okay, so if we're going to give that guy a pass, fine. He's taking a look at a double team. But all the other officials, the 2 other officials on the court, had to have seen that Chauncey Billups was behind him, was behind the play by a foot, was at the midcourt line requesting this. And Thunder go on to win that game 111 to 109, favored by 8.5 points tonight. So the Spurs have the benefit of being at home and have the benefit of having a day of rest, where the Thunder played a very, very close game last night over there in Oklahoma City. But tonight it is about Chet versus Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama, according to a lot of sports books right now, is now the favorite all over again to win Rookie of the Year. Chet not playing so well. If you go on to Twitter, Jeff G Spurs Zone, follow Jeff Garcia on Locked On Spurs. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on Threads. Follow him on Kens5.com. Follow him on YouTube. I follow on Locked On Spurs podcast on YouTube, and I also do it on Spotify as well. I'm going to be the guest on Friday. He has a story out there talking about that he posted on Twitter today, where they're trying to rank the top 5 centers in all of the NBA. And there is somebody who does not believe that Victor Wembanyama is in the top 5. And of course, that person is former Spurs Steven Jackson.
Of course.
Steven Jackson listed as top 5 centers, has Chet Holmgren at number 4, does not list Victor Wembanyama. My whole thing about it is this. Do people consider Victor Wembanyama to be a center or not? Because he hasn't played center the entire season. He's played center, the last 3 weeks? So I'm going to give a benefit of the doubt when it comes to that. What position is Wemby?
I think he plays better at the center position than he did as, let's say, a power forward or a forward, And it looks like when he's at the center position, the team is better,
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I like here, too, is I like this comment here from Joker. I don't know if you saw that, because this was breaking news late last evening, is that he says, can you all explain to me how Doc Rivers keeps getting head coaching jobs because the Bucks just hired him? And that news was crazy that it broke, because it broke on CNN. And you would have thought that Shams or Adrian Wojnarowski would have broke that story, but it was not to be. It was actually CNN who broke the story that Doc Rivers was actually hired by the Milwaukee Bucks as the new head coach.
Yeah, so Doc Rivers, according to ESPN, is also reporting on it as well. He's going to be replacing Adrian Griffin as head coach of Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. That has Giannis written all over it. They wouldn't have done it without his consent.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks, though, right now the 2 seed in the East at 30-13. But he loses his job, so it looks a little bit weird. I mean, this is a guy that they've won 6 of the last 10 games. They've won the last 2. But a lot of people believe that they're not playing to their potential, because though they have a very good record, their point differential is kind of shaky. They're giving up over 120 points per game, which is one of the worst in the East right now, one of the worst in the entire NBA. So because of that, I can see them wanting to move on a little bit.
It's weird, though, because what happened with Griffin is reportedly he lost the locker room.
Right.
And reportedly it was after, I believe it was a win that they had. And he went in there and he was just kind of like talking with them and kind of, in a sense, berating the team a little bit,
right.
And at that point, they just like, yeah, we're just not, we're not into this coaching, the way that the coaching style, of Mr. Griffin. And you could tell that it was taking a toll on the team. Even Damian Lillard just didn't look right. Like, he looked disinterested. He didn't look happy.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that he was having a hard time adjusting to how the Bucks wanted to run their offense under Adrian Griffin. So maybe now that they're getting new leadership there, they'll be kind of set free in a way to kind of go ahead and run the offense the way that they originally, were running it.
Right.
But the problem is that the Bucks, while they're good on offense, they're lacking that defense that they had in years past. So
giving up over 120 points per game. Joker makes reference saying that Doc Rivers teams have blown 3-1 series leads repeatedly and several 3-2 leads as well. Doc Rivers first became a head coach in 1999 for the Orlando Magic when he was 38 years old. He is now 62 years old rather. And, the guy has nearly 1,100 wins for a career, is a one-time NBA champion as head coach, won in 2007, 2008 with the Boston Celtics. They were 66-16 that particular season. The guy has a winning percentage of .590. He's not a bad coach. He's not an elite one. He has a big name because Doc Rivers, when he played for the Hawks, was a very big name. Doc Rivers played for the San Antonio Spurs in the late 90s as well. Did I ever tell you the story about Doc Rivers yelling at me at the at the Alamo Dome?
Is this a tall tale?
It's not a tall tale because it happened in real life.
What did they say? Pics or it didn't happen?
Pics or it didn't happen. Yeah, there were no phones there. Doc Rivers, I was doing post-game interviews for KSAT, and I was a teenager. I was like 17, 18 years old at the Alamo Dome trying to get an interview with some of these players. And Doc Rivers looks at me, and I'm trying to ask him a question, and he screamed at me, "What? What do you want to ask me?" Blah, blah, blah. And went off on me for like 4 or 5 seconds. And I kind of looked at him and I asked him a question still.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, "What's your name, man?" I said, my name's Michael. And he goes, dude, he goes, you're doing a great job. He goes, it'll never get any worse than what I did for you right there. He goes, I was just being a jerk in order to like get a rise out of you, but I'm doing that for a reason. He goes, it'll never be any worse than that. You came firing with a question after all of that. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So he wasn't doing it to be a dick. He was doing it to kind of teach me a lesson. Speaking of which, didn't mention this, by the way, but if you could go back to my Twitter, because I'm thinking back on my KSAT days. Do you remember Cordell Patrick?
I do.
Cordell Patrick was a sportscaster for KSAT back in the 90s. He was very popular back in the day. Have we talked about this? I don't think we have.
I don't think we have talked about him.
So Cordell almost lost his life last week in California. Now he's working for ESPN. He does a lot of the color commentary and announcing for Texas State basketball games. But the thing is that he was involved in a crash. And if you can see this video right here, that's him flying out over the median.
Dude.
He broke several bones. Cordell Patrick, formerly of KSAT 12. The story goes he was going out fishing or hunting or something like that with his wife. They were in an RV. He stood up to go to the restroom because, you know, the RVs have a restroom inside there. He looked over at his wife. His wife was asleep at the wheel.
Jeez, dude.
He grabbed the steering wheel. It hit the side of the median. He got ejected outside the driver's window over the median, and someone driving by with a camera on in their car caught the whole thing happening, and his body on the side of the road right there.
Just tumbling, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I have some stories about Cordell. Cordell was a nice guy. Still is a nice guy, I'm sure. Went to Texas State. I was at Texas State. The exact same thing that Doc Rivers did to me, he did to me at Houston Oilers training camp at Incarnate Word. Not Incarnate, Trinity is where they used to have it. And he tried yelling and at me and this other intern. The other intern got pissed off and like cried about it and took off. And I stood there and I took it. And he said, Michael, you have thick skin. You have thick skin. You're going to make it in this world. And I had a 12-year journalism career afterwards. So Cordell Patrick, hope you're feeling better, my man. Again, this happened on Highway 14 in just outside of Los Angeles, California. But KSAT did a story about this a couple of days ago. But
that's why I don't let my wife drive. She will fall asleep, dude.
Yeah.
No joke, man. Like 30 minutes driving and she's already getting sleepy and cars going right, going left, swerving. I'm like, damn, man.
Lots of people reaching out to us. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at MJ Acquired Taste. Joe is at Two Shots Podcast. Cordell Patrick, great guy, dude. Great guy. One of the funny stories I have about Cordell was that years ago, we were under an ice storm at KSAT. And I think at that point in time, I was working in the news department. And you know what happens when it ices over in San Antonio, when it gets down to 20 degrees and it's icy? They shut down all the freeways, right? So the people at KSAT decided to get the hotel that's about half a mile away so that we can all go over there, walk over there if we need to, get a good night's rest, then come on back to the station, right? Because why? Everything was shut down. Well, we go to the hotel and we're waiting for, we're just kind of hanging out in the lobby. Middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning, Cordell and his friends show up like nothing is happening. Like his entourage comes with him and they walk into the hotel room after a night of going out. And I'm like, everything in the city is shut down. But Cordell Patrick's parties just kept going. It was fun times, man. I look back to those days. I know that you make fun of them and say that it's tall tales, but being in the media for 12 years back in the day, very, very, very
Look
cool.
at this here. I like this comment.
Historias.
Castro and Sons, man. Historias con Jimenez.
Oh, goodness. Goodness.
Hey, man, we don't have anything for pop culture news, man. We were talking about some Taylor Swift.
We've been talking about, you know what? Let's talk about that because that is not pop culture news. This is going to be sports
it's kind of
news.
entertainment. I'll say it entertainment news. So let me play the jingle, dude.
Okay.
That's a little beat that you like. Doot, doot, doot.
Very nice. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people have been giving Taylor Swift some shit because, I mean, she's America's sweetheart, right? It's gone from like Julia Roberts to Meg Ryan. You know, it goes along the way. And I think at some point it was Zendaya. I think America's sweetheart right now is Taylor Swift.
Oh, most definitely, man. She's been all over the place, especially with NFL fans.
I agree. And people get pissed off about the fact that she's, you know, she's at the games, she's supporting her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. And I think a lot of people are just upset that the Chiefs keep winning. Chiefs are in the AFC Championship game for the 6th year in a row. The first time Taylor Swift going out there. So when they started dating back in like September or so, people thought it was kind of a publicity stunt, but she's been going to his games. He goes to her concerts. She's kind of off for right now. And the fact of the matter is that I mention to people all the time that people like Taylor Swift more than they hate her.
I would have to agree with that, man.
And she is bringing people into the arena, if you will, of sports. And I have a lot of people on TikTok who say, you know, I get to watch these games with my daughter when she never had any interest.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of younger viewers. She's pissing off a lot of the older viewers, but they're getting more younger viewers. Well, the thing is that the ratings are out for this past weekend's games. And according to Hollywood Reporter, Sports Illustrated, and a few other sites, it says, quote, CBS drew the largest audience on record for an NFL divisional playoff game with Sunday's telecast of the Kansas City Chiefs over the Buffalo Bills. The game averaged 50.39 million viewers. And that beat the previous record, which was 48.5 million in 2017, that involved the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers. Okay? Think about that. The game that Taylor Swift so happened to be at was the highest viewed divisional playoff game in NFL history.
That's pretty damn good, man. And you know what thing is that it's bringing in the female demographic because you have a lot of female fans in the NFL, but this brings in those female fans that maybe weren't even interested, but now they are because, hey, they're Taylor Swift fans, so they're coming in.
And they became Travis Kelce fans.
And they became Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Now, not only did they break the record, it's talking about the Sunday primetime game last year, which was the Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers on Fox. That game had 45 million viewers.
Jeez.
So it was 10% higher this year without the Niners, without the Cowboys. And is it the Taylor effect? Do you believe that 50 million people would have watched that game without Taylor Swift being in the stands? And Jason Kelce doing the thing. By the way, at some point in the game, it's estimated that 56 to 57 million people were watching at one point in the game. That 50 million was the average throughout the game. That is insane. She is good for business.
Well, I just voted right now on your Pop Twitter poll.
Oh, what's the number at now?
69% say yes, Pop will do it. 31% say no, Pop should retire. Guess how I voted?
That you want him gone?
No, I said yes, Pop will do it.
Oh my God.
Pop will do it.
Okay, let's get on my screen real fast. Let me see if I can bring this up real fast. But I don't know if you
Whoa,
see this
whoa,
photo.
whoa! What are we looking at?
Oh,
here?
we are looking at Tiffany Amber Tyson.
Nice.
By the way, her name is Tyson. So many people throughout the years is saying Tiffany Amber Thiessen. It's Tyson. Okay. She played Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell. This photo right here of her in a bed sheet was what she released on Instagram yesterday saying, quote, "This is 50." She celebrated her 50th birthday yesterday.
Wow.
If she looks that good at 50, she's going to look good forever.
Forever. And you know, the thing is, people don't know that she has like a live stream that she does, and it's just a cooking show with her, you know, and she still looks great, dude. She looks great.
Dude, some of these things, man. Mario Cavazos now, Taylor Swift, no tiene nada.
I know, I saw that, dude.
Okay, first of all, she's got legs, though.
Legs for days, bro.
She's got legs for days, man. Jonathan C. reached out saying, I hate the Chiefs even more because of Taylor Swift. Also saying that it's creating more Eagles fans because not only Travis Kelce, but also Jason Kelce. She changed loyalty because the thing about it is that Jason Kelce plays for the Eagles. Taylor Swift has been an Eagles fan her entire life up until this whole point with Travis.
Chris Hernandez, man,
saying Tiffany Amber Tyson can save my bell any day. She fine.
Yeah, dude.
She fine. That is so funny. Dude, Taylor Swift is pretty, dude. My friend Anthony one time told me that if we had a house party and, you know, you brought a date and that date was Taylor Swift and she wasn't a singer, she was just some girl, that every guy would be checking her out and that every girl would hate her.
Yeah, that no lies detected there.
She's a pretty girl, dude. She really is. Now, I'm not going to say that I think she's the hottest woman in the world, but she's a really pretty girl. You want some pop culture news? Can I interest you in a it's called the Lovers Tour, the Lovers and Friends Tour. It's actually not Lovers and Friends Tour. It's Lovers and Friends Festival 2024. Have you seen the lineup for Las Vegas? I have it right here on my screen right here. May 4th, Las Vegas, Nevada. How does this sound for a list of performers for a festival of music?
Bro, if you go to this, you're of a certain age. That's all I'm saying, man.
But dude, Janet Jackson,
Jesus, dude.
Usher, Backstreet Boys, Gwen Stefani, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Alicia Keys, Nelly Furtado, Sierra, TLC, MIA, T-Pain, Ashanti, Ja Rule, Mary J. Blige, Nas, Ludacris, Nelly, Akon, Neo. Here are the lower performers, by the way. Jason Derulo, Timbaland, Craig David, Brandy, Monica Eve, Jodeci, Mace, Genuine, Yin Yang Twins, Trina, JoJo, Too Short. Dude, look at all of these names. I know somebody who went there. My first ex-wife went there last year to watch the Lovers and Friends tour. It's not a tour, it's a festival. And she was saying that you can't watch them all.
You can't.
They have like 5 or 6 tents going on, and you have to like actually just diagram, I want to watch this one, because they're all going on at one time.
Yeah.
So, you know, the top ones might be going on separately. But, you know, if you want to watch Brandy, for example, it's like South by Southwest.
Yeah.
You know, you've got like 20 different venues all in one area. But that is cool, dude. I might actually go to Vegas 3 times this year.
When is this going to happen?
That is March 4th. I'm sorry, May 4th.
May 4th.
May 4th. Dude, that's great.
But how many days? Is it just 1 or 2 or?
I think it's a couple of days.
It has to be, man. That's a lot of people.
Who would you want to see the most out of there?
I don't know, man. I like some Janet Jackson, some Usher, Snoop, Lil Wayne, of course, Nas, Ludacris. You got Nelly, TLC, MIA. MIA had some bangers back in the day, dude.
I'd want to see Usher. I'd want to see Nelly Furtado because she is my celebrity crush. She's one of them.
Backstreet Boys don't interest me at all, bro.
It doesn't interest me at all. I mean, I don't mind them. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't like their music back in the day.
I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I would go see some Gwen Stefani, but I ain't there for the music.
Yeah. I mean, that's another one that's 50 and looking fine. You know what? I would like to see Nelly.
She still look good, dude. She still looks good. And she can sing, man.
She can. I've seen her in concert before. I saw her back in the 90s. Nelly, dude, Country Grammar back in 2004-05 was it, man.
Hey, man, remember some Mace from back in the day, too?
Mace,
dude?
yeah. I was so pissed off. Speaking about Mace, I was at HEB the other day, and, you know, they're playing the music on the overhead, and I'm getting excited because a lot of it's my music.
It shows how old you are.
And then I thought they were going to be playing that song from The Police, Every Breath You Take, and then it ended up being that puffy Mace piece of shit that was for Biggie.
Oh
my
Lord.
God, that song was awful. By the way, Craig David is in there. Craig David is performing. That's going to be one of the 5 that I would circle that I think I would want to see. Craig David, it's so funny. We talk about Rudy J. There's an album that Craig David has. Oh my God, what's the name of that album? It might be the self-titled album, but Craig David, dude, that album was amazing. Let me see here.
You know what? If they're going to
It's
bring,
called Born to Do It.
oh, okay.
Born to Do It in 2000. So I was talking about that album with Rudy J back at our San Antonio Sports Star days, and he goes, "What do you know about Craig David?" And I rattled off like 7 or 8 songs that I like from that album. He was like, "All right, you know Craig David." But going to Vegas 3 times because I've already bought my tickets to go to March Madness, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to be there the Thursday and Friday of March Madness for round 1. I'll be there on Saturday and Sunday for round 2. So I'll probably have to do the show from March
Vegas.
Madness. That'd be nice. If I go to this in May, that'd be pretty cool. And then I have to go to Vegas again in July for my daughter's 21st birthday. Jonathan C. reaches out to us and says, Nelly Furtado dancing in Promiscuous Girl. Dude. And who was she dancing with? She was dancing with a young Jennifer Lopez in that video. And at the end, you have stupid Justin Timberlake dancing like an idiot in the background. I hated that.
Oh,
Chris Gonzalez saying, speaking of Nugget, have you seen Nelly Furtado?
Yeah.
Damn straight I have. Nelly Furtado.
You know what I was going to say, man? They have this Lovers and Friends, show that's going on in Vegas. They're going to have that, dude. Why can't they bring La Semana Alegre back, dude? You remember that from Fiesta, bro?
Yeah.
Like, let's bring that back.
And by the way, for those of you who see my search history here, it says Nelly Furtado thick. Dude, she is ridiculously fine, dude. Nelly Furtado, Portuguese. Look at oh my God, Nelly Furtado. Whoa, Nelly.
Dude. I still like me some BB though.
I mean, this isn't the BB vibe. I mean, Portuguese. I dig the Portuguese. Nelly Furtado, dude.
She good. She look
straight
good.
Up nugget.
Look good, bro.
Straight up nugget. So we've talked about Kelly Kapowski turning 50, Tiffany Amber Tyson. Talked about Nelly Furtado. We have a lot that we've talked about today.
Yeah, you said Nelly Furtado twice already.
Dude, she fine, dude. She's like still on my top 10 list. By the way, also on that festival is Maya. Dude, Maya has been on my celebrity list for about 25 years running. That is a good looking girl. Well, what is that? Dude, these girls don't age, man.
It's good genes, man.
Oh my goodness. Goodness. She's rocking the hoop earrings. Dude, I mean, hoop earrings and a white hat. Oh, gets me every time, my man. Gets me every time.
I remember one time I was having a conversation with Carolina. And I was talking to her about, I think it was a show that we had. And I was like, oh, yeah, me and Mike were going over hotties of the 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we started getting into the conversation. And Carolina out of nowhere tells me, you can tell a lot about a girl by her eyebrows. And I just busted out laughing. And then when I talk with Carolina, sometimes I tell her that and she starts laughing, dude.
You know, it's funny because you and I grew up on a certain side of town.
Yeah.
And the hoop earrings were a thing. And like people would ask, well, how big is too big? I'm like, is there such a thing as too big? You know, I like them the size of a coaster. You know, I want to be able to fit my drink inside of the earrings.
Oh, God. That's like a 5-inch hoop. I think that's what that is right there.
Oh, daddy like a lot. But man, people reaching out to us on Twitter right now. Still debating about Gregg Popovich and whether or not he can turn this team into a winner. One of the best questions that was asked of me was someone asked the question, define a winner. Is it 500? Is it better than that? I would say 46 wins is the winner. 46 and 36. Win a little bit more than you lose.
That hasn't happened here with the Spurs for quite some time.
Yeah. And people are still I don't want this to be, Joe, where we go 28 years like Cowboy fans.
The drought.
That's what I don't want.
I don't see that drought ending anywhere near for the Cowboy fans. It's not going to end. It's just going to continue. But for Spurs fans, I think that drought of the Spurs not being in that playoff tourney or being in the playoffs period, I think that'll come to an end here probably within the next 3 seasons.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Rob reaches out to us and says, time for Pop to go was 2 seasons ago. Not sure what he put in the Kool-Aid to have all these fans thinking he can just stay here as long as he wants and produce without producing a winning team. Shit, at this rate, he'll have the record for most losses too.
Jeez.
Pop gotta go. Very cool. Jonathan C. reaches out to us on our YouTube stream, says, if she wears hoop earrings, Dickies, and Nikes, stay away. She will cut you.
The G Nikes.
Mario Cavazos, what about the row of shrimp gold earrings? Dude, you are a man of a certain age, Mario Cavazos, if you remember the shrimp earrings. That's more Westlake's than it is Ingram Park Mall.
That's the 90s, bro.
That is, dude.
90s, man.
You would see that over at Joe's Volcano on a Sunday night.
Yeah, those girls, they were ready to throw down, dude, all the time at Joe's Volcanoes. Every time you went to Joe's, there was going to be a fight either inside on the dance floor somewhere or outside in the parking lot. Every weekend, dude, this would happen.
Yeah, every time. You're right, and it always started inside, but made its way outside. Right?
Yeah, it's either inside or outside, one of the two, man.
So I'm thinking back about my clubbing days because I used to go all the time. I mean, it was just a rite of passage. You'd have to go to Joe's Volcano. You'd have to go to Atrium, Park Place.
It was like Club Antro, Planeta Mexico.
Planeta, all of those places, right? And then the sprinkle in the country ones, Midnight Ropaho and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I question whether or not I actually enjoyed myself back then.
I enjoyed myself back then, but you know what? Me and my boys used to go hang out at one place that was near downtown. They used to call it the Rhino Room. And that was kind of a little bit nicer of a bar, You had to have a little bit of money to go there. And it was not bad, dude.
The one place that had the hottest girls, though, was Planeta. That was the place, man. That was the place. I'm trying to find old photos of the atrium.
Jonathan C. Joe's Volcano reeked of Aquanet.
Charlie Hernandez, y'all were savages going out. There was a place called Savages.
There was, dude.
And the medical center had Madison Avenue, Picasso's, had Jules. The Drinkery. That was pretty good. Babcock Bar was pretty cool. And then if you want to go old school, there was a place called Whiskey's. I think it's still around.
Still around,
right
dude.
Behind Ding Hao.
Yeah, dude.
The picture of Long Island iced teas.
Yeah, I see it all the time, especially if I'm going to go and meet my wife for lunch or something over in the medical center.
Yeah.
I always pass by and I'm like, this place is still living, dude. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Hey, if you've been to Whiskey's, you've been to Barton's Boozery, you've been to Joe's Volcano, you don't need any vaccinations, bro. Like, you are good. You are good.
and what's funny is, and this is what I'm thinking. So I have been paying off debt for the longest time.
Yeah.
You get a student loan, you start paying it off. You get car payments, you start paying them off, and various things. I am of the good fortune that my business has done so well that I'm on track around February 15th of being debt free.
That's a good feeling, man.
Now, minus my house and my car. I will have a car payment and I will have a house payment.
I'm almost done paying off my house, actually.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think I only got 3 more years.
Wow.
And we're done.
Wow.
We're done.
So I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, every tab I ever rang up is paid for. Every tab in my 20s, 30s, and 40s is paid up. Everything is paid up. February 15th will be that day. That'll be the paycheck that I will, all of it gone.
Yeah.
And it's freeing, because I'm probably going to have to pay child support when it's all said and done.
Jeez.
But it's going to fit in nicely there where it's not going to be as dramatic of a thing. But man, I feel very, very fortunate about that, man. My business has been doing very, very well. In fact, since we've been doing the show, I've been called several times regarding my business. But the fact of the matter is that I appreciate everybody out there. Again, you can tip us, buy us a coffee, if you will, top right. That doesn't go to me. That goes to Joe.
Yeah, it's going to go to all of us. I'm going to spread it across for me, you, and Brandon, because we're going to use it, to make bigger and better things
Yeah,
for the show.
Don't worry about me, man. All this equipment that you have over here, just apply it to that, man. Just apply it to that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I do. I get that, and we use it for things in the studio. Yeah.
Joe's Volcano song every time, according to Mario Cavazos, was "Come On, Eileen."
Oh God, man,
dude. Every time I would go to Park Place, it was, "I wanna fuck you like an animal."
9 Inch Nails.
Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah,
that was that song. You know what song I remember at Mario at Joe's Volcano was "You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, man. Right round like a record, baby, round, 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 round." Something like that.
We do need to get a karaoke night or something going on here.
Thinking about getting a karaoke machine for my house.
That'd be fun.
I have an air hockey table that I added. I got that for my kids. We were my son who has special needs. We were playing air hockey early this morning. So we got that. I'm, the divorced life. I'm just turning the house into my own thing. Thinking about adding a karaoke machine. Thinking about adding another game because I want my house to be something that is like people can come over to the house and hang out.
Yeah.
When I was married, or when she was still in the house, she hated people coming over to the house, and I'm like, well, shit. If it's my house now, let's make it a place for us to hang out, have a nice little bar, invite some friends over, watch games and things like that. So, getting my shit in order, man, getting it all going. Mario asking the question, "Hey Joe, when are you going to come out with Alamo City Sportscast merch for us to buy?" That's a good question.
Yeah, we'll start having some stuff, we'll have some stuff coming in here. I have to work on everything and design everything, so it takes me a little bit of time. I'm working on some Spurs merch, which I already had the prototypes and I gave out to some of my family members for over the holidays, back in Christmas and whatnot. So now that I've got that kind of narrowed down, I can focus on other things. So we'll focus on some Alamo City Sportscast merch, but we do have the capability already built into YouTube to go ahead and start selling merch and have that featured while we're doing the show. So I've already laid out the foundational work for everything. So now that we transition over to YouTube, we're going to be able to do bigger and better things.
Hey, one last thing, by the way, before we go, we forgot to mention the fact that a former San Antonio Mission was inducted into the Hall of Fame yesterday.
Wow. Who was it?
Baseball Hall of Fame writers added Joe Mauer, Todd Helton, and former San Antonio Mission, former Texas Ranger, Adrian Beltre into the Hall of Fame. You need to have 75% of the vote to get in. And Adrian Beltre got 95% of the vote. Todd Helton got 79.7%. Joe Mauer got 76%. Just missing it, Billy Wagner. He's got one more year left, I believe, of eligibility. Billy Wagner at 74%. You need 75 to get in.
Jeez.
Billy Wagner played for the Astros for many years, one of the best closers of all time. The one that I'm surprised about, though, is the fact that Gary Sheffield did not make it, and I believe this was his last time on the ballot. He's at 63.9%. But Adrian Beltre, before we go, one of my favorite things about Adrian Beltre was not so much that he hit so many homers. So if you go through his stats, by the way, Adrian Beltre is, he hit a ton of homers, dude. His stats were amazing. 93% voting for him. He retired in 2018. But this is the guy that had 3,166 hits. You get to 3,000, you're going to get in. And as far as RBIs are concerned, man, 1,700, had a very, very, very good career. 477 homers. It was a no-brainer that he was going to get in. But one of my favorite things about Adrian Beltre was that he would get pissed off if you touched his head. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Let me see if I could find this. Let me see. I'm posting this video right now on YouTube right here. If you could check out this video.
Yeah, let me go ahead and play it right now.
Prepare for Adrian Beltre.
I don't know if Beltre was a germaphobe or what.
Huge press.
But if he hit a home run, he tried touching his head, he would lose his shit.
Watch, here comes.
Let's see.
League, and he's 0 for 4. Left side, it is Andrews with Beltray playing around.
He went for the deke. I did. He decoyed.
So did the guy calling it.
He decoyed.
Oh, here, let me see.
They're all touching it.
He got a fastball. He got a pitch that time.
Leave me alone.
And he popped him up.
Dude, Adrian Beltre was a character, baby. Absolute character. He stared down his teammates.
What is he doing? Obviously did that on purpose.
Oh, this video is so great, man. So great. But Adrian Beltre, former Texas Ranger, former San Antonio Mission, going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Congratulations to him. Very, 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 very cool, man. Before we go, Tim Gonzalez reaches out to us and says, I know I tagged you and Joe about Ariana Roberson's post on Twitter. Ariana Roberson from San Antonio is going to be part of, what was it again? It was some sort of, it's like the McDonald's All-American stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So she was from Clark High School and is going to be taking part in the McDonald's All-American game. She's going to be playing for Duke. Very, very, very cool.
Yeah, I just saw this right now from Jeff McDonald, the Express News. 8 minutes ago, he posted Trey Jones, his ankle, because of, maybe he'd be out tonight because of his ankle.
Yeah.
He did not participate in shoot around this morning. It says official injury report is not yet out, but this would not bode well for his availability tonight versus OKC. So Spurs might be without their point guard.
Spurs favored to lose tonight by 8.5 points. Again, congratulations again to Ariana Roberson being named to the McDonald's All-American team.
Who will tip off against the East.
She's part of the defending 6A state champions, the Clark Cougars, and she'll be playing for Duke next year. Very, very, very cool. Have you seen that girl who plays for Reagan, plays volleyball?
I think they might have had a story. I think I saw her because they had stories about her on the local news.
Dude, she is amazing, dude. I can't think of her name right now, but I'll find it. We'll do that for a future day. But I've been seeing TikToks about her. One of the best prospects right now in for college volleyball, but she plays for Reagan right now here in town. I think she's a junior. Absolutely amazing. She might actually be a big, big star in the future. Before we go, ESPN's reporting that the Milwaukee Bucks have agreed to a deal with Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers taking over for Adrian Griffin, who had a really good record. But again, they give up a lot of points on D. Doc Rivers is going to be that guy. The Portland Trailblazers are protesting their loss last night to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's see how that goes. And again, tonight you have the Spurs taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tip-off just after 8:30. It's going to be on ESPN. And one last thing, the Green Bay Packers got rid of their defensive coordinator. Lots to talk about today.
Yep.
This has been a fun show. If you want to sponsor, reach out to us. My name is Mikey Jimenez. I'm at MJ Acquired Taste. Joe Garcia is at Two Shots Podcasts.
Yep.
Very, very, very cool. Jonathan C. reaching out to us, saying that someone named Michael Terry from Antonian has 17 college offers, including Texas, UTSA, Oregon, and more.
Wow.
Very cool.
Congratulations.
Very, very, very cool. Thank you for the support. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to share our content. Put it on your Facebook page. Put it on your Twitter feed. Whatever the case may be, we really do appreciate it. I'm Mike. That's Joe. Tonight, go Spurs go. See you tomorrow.
Let's get it. Let's get it. See y'all boys tomorrow.